Okay, hi everybody. My name's Dr. Steve Burton. I'm the head of subject for digital transformative education, which is one of the areas within the School of Education. So I've been asked to come along and talk to you today about our school, the School of Education, and answer any questions that you might have. You may have noticed that I've just muted everyone. So if you want to ask any questions, please do feel free. If you want to put your cameras on, absolutely feel free. We're a very small group. We're all here together. I can see that Philomena has her camera on. So hi Philomena, personal welcome to you. And if anyone else wants a personal welcome, you'll have to put your cameras on. Okay, so what can I tell you about the Carnegie School of Education? Tamira, hi. Thank you. So what can I say about the School of Education? We're a very old school. We go back a long way into history. We've been training teachers on in our school really for about 80 years. So we've got a lot of history in Leeds. As Joe mentioned in the last in the big presentation, our school is one of the schools that's based up at the Headingley campus, which is a beautiful campus about 3-4 miles north of Leeds city centre, and it really is a lovely place to study. While we're thinking about it being a lovely place to study, our school is actually moving this summer. So we're moving from one building into another. The new building has been renovated over the last 2 years. So if you're coming onto campus to study with us in the new hall, where our school is based, we will have a new virtual reality lab for our students. We have an early years observation room. We have an educational psychology, like a counselling suite stroke observation room. We will have a new design technology teaching space, a new maths teaching space, a new science lab, which mirrors what a UK primary school science lab would look like. And this is where we teach and train our teachers of the future, basically. So it will be a very nice experience in the building. And I have to admit, the old building that we leave in is horrible. So this is going to be, it's all the staff are excited about this move to the new hall. And we've, like I said, we've been waiting for it for about 2 years. I think the bonus of studying with us as well is the real life nature of the courses. So all our courses, whether you're looking at Masters in Education, Masters in Childhood, undergraduate degrees in childhood studies or teacher training, they're all very much focused on the real world lives of children and families. All the lecturers and tutors and support staff that support you through your journey are all former teachers, social workers, early years practitioners, police officers. They've all got real world experience that they bring to the classes and bring to the teaching. But on top of that, the staff are all very research active. So in our school, we have students that are studying for PhDs, for educational doctorates, and obviously we have the staff to support that. So we have professors, we have staff that are writing books on a regular basis. I write about safeguarding children, for instance. So I've got a couple of books out about protecting and safeguarding children. We write about digital pedagogy, and we really like to think of ourselves as leading from the front. When it comes to publishing and welcoming you into an environment where we take academic studies, publishing, writing for journals, writing book chapters, etc. We take it very seriously, and we like people to pitch into that. We're a very supportive team. I'll tell you a secret. I'm 48 years old. I know I don't look it. I look much younger than that. But I've been working in universities for over 20 years, and I've never known a group of academic staff that are as human and approachable and pleasant to be around as what we have in the School of Education. So I really would welcome you to come and familiarize yourself. Do the research, have a look at the staff pages. We have staff profiles on the website. You can see that the school is on the Leeds Beckett website as well, so you can see the kind of things that we're writing about, the kind of things that we're doing. And I think what's exciting as well is if you look at the School of Education website on the Leeds Beckett website, you see the kind of blogs and writing that our students are doing as well. So our driving aim is for our students to make a name for themselves, and we'll start you on that journey. Okay, Kat is on the line as well. Hi, Kat. Did I surprise you then? So basically, I was going to invite questions. If you want to just tell me, ask a question, tell me which course you're interested in, which course you're applying for. Pat's here as well to support. Over to you guys. Tamira, Tukai, Philomena have been really brave. Hello to all of you. Thank you for putting your cameras on. But if you've got questions to ask, we're a lovely small group. So please feel free to pop your hands up and ask away. You're muted, Kat. Shall I see if I can do it? Oh, you got it. Nice one.
Can you hear me?
Yes, we can now, yes.
All right, it says I'm muted. There's something weird going on. Can you hear me now?
Yeah, perfectly.
Okay, can you see me?
Yes, absolutely.
All right.
Yeah.
I can't see myself. Sorry about that, everybody. Yeah, so my name is Kat Garner and I'm here to support this breakout room today. I work at the university. I'm the Global Engagement Coordinator, so I deal with all international students from pre-arrival right from when you get to us. So, and your journey beyond that point. So yeah, if you have any questions, as Steve says, then you can put that in the chat, or you can just speak out loud. As Steve says, there's only a few of us here today. And we've also got one of our global ambassadors, which is Tu Kaido, who can answer any questions, as she's a current student who is studying education at master's level as well. So we can maybe start the conversation running with that. If you want to just tell us a bit about your experience, maybe of being a Leeds Beckett student, and talk about where you're from, what you're studying, and what you're enjoying best about studying at Leeds Beckett.
So hi, can you hear me?
Yes.
So I want to introduce a little bit about myself. So my name is Tu Kaido. So I'm come from Vietnam, and I'm currently studying Masters in Education at Leeds Beckett. So the reason I choose to study Masters in Education at Leeds Beckett is because I want to become an international admissions officer, and somehow the course at Leeds Beckett focus on the aspect of leadership, mentoring, and updated with the information about the education system. So I think that is a great choice for me to study here. So I decided to go with it. And during the process of studying, I received a lot of support from the career team, one of the team I like the best, and also the student service team, the academic team from the library, and also the teachers and other international students as well. Because somehow my friends are a lot of older than me, and they have a lot of experience about teaching, about working in the industry, in the school as well. So they help me a lot. And in during the time I'm in Leeds, I'm also like the weather, the city, and the people here as well. So you don't need to worry, because everyone here speaks perfect English. for me, I think, because they don't have like that thick accent, so you're just reassured that you don't need to have like a perfect maximum skills of English to be study here, and everyone can help you with that. Yeah. So
That's
is my
brilliant. Thank you. And just a little bit about Leeds itself. Do you find it, how do you find it as a city?
So I joined a lot of education fair back in when I was in Vietnam with Edward. So he just told me that here Leeds is like one of the 4 biggest cities in UK. So I imagine it was just like London, just another version of London. But it's just kind of, when I came here, I realized that it was kind of a mix between London and countryside. So it's not too crowded, but it's not too quiet. So you can easily adapt to the life here. Yeah.
That's brilliant. Thank you. So we're open to any other questions. You can ask to Kaido, or you can ask Steve direct. So do go ahead. I was just looking at the question actually that the father has put about sports coaching. I think you're in the wrong room. I'm just going to post the link for Carnegie School of Sport. So I think you need to go across to that one. That's okay. Okay, has anybody got any questions about anything? Yes, go ahead, Tamira.
Good afternoon, everyone. I come from India, Mumbai. I'm a PhD student at Carnegie School of Education, and I was just curious to know, also because I am going to be embarking on a research. I have a hybrid model, so I'm not going to be on campus through and through, but I'll be coming in and out of India and the UK. So I was curious to know what access I have to the master's level programs you guys run at school. And how I could access them from India, and what other infrastructure in that sense, online versions of it, can I access?
That's a great question, Tamira. It's very informal, is the honest answer, because we're all very personal people. So I would say to you, if you were interested in, so my department is all master's degree level, and if you wanted to access some of our programs, quite simply talk to your supervisor, your PhD supervisor, get my email address, send me an email and say, hi Steve, it's Tamira, we met in May. I had to check. We met in May. Could I access these 3 modules, these 5 modules, this 1 module, whatever, and we'd just give you access to it like that.
Is there a place, Steve, where I can see what modules are up for grab?
Yeah, well, if you want to, let me pop my my email address in.
Because I don't think the website has a comprehensive, list of modules that are being offered at the Carnegie School of Education. So I was just a little bit. Okay, so my supervisor is going to help me on that front, is it?
Your supervisor will help you. I've just put my email address in the chat as well. What you can do on the website is when you go into if you find a master's degree course that sounds of interest, if you go into that course, you can then see which modules are optional and which modules are core. And from there, you can look at the learning outcomes, the size of the modules, etc., etc. So you don't get to see the content, but you do get to see all the public-facing information about the modules. So you can look from that perspective. But again, if you want to email me, you can. And once you've got your supervision team sorted, they will definitely help you as well. And then you're one of our students then. So just ask the question and we'll sort you out.
All right. Thank you. Thank you so much.
No problem. Any more questions?
Hi, can I speak?
Yes, you can, Philomena.
Yeah, hi. I have taken admission primary with QTS, that is for age group 3 to 11.
Yeah.
I just wanted to know, Steve, whether I am going to be only in schools or also in the universities.
Both. So what?
How many months?
But yeah, so the PGCE course starts quite early. It starts at the very beginning of September, so it starts earlier than other courses in the university because it's a very full year. And you will spend probably all of September and all of October in the university, and we'll be teaching you about lesson planning, about children's psychology, about how the brain develops, about how to think about learning and getting you and safeguarding and that kind of thing, and getting you ready for the classroom with the children. From the end of October, you'll then go out into schools, and you'll study, or well, you'll work in at least 2 schools. Because you've got to do that under English law to be awarded QTS. So you've got to demonstrate your ability as a teacher in at least 2 separate schools. So we'll make sure that you do 3 placements, basically between the end of October and, I mean, our PGC students are still out now. They're still going now for another several weeks. But you'll do 3 placements spread across 2 schools, and you'll do the whole breadth of age 3 to 11. So you'll do some early years, some primary school, and then every so often you'll come back to university for a couple of days for extra bits of tuition. But actually, from the end of October, you're out in school teaching and becoming a teacher.
Okay, so I'll be in school for the whole day.
Yes.
Or is it I'll be given only specific periods to observe and then I have to go back, or I have to be from morning till the last session of the school, whatever it is?
Yeah, while you're a PGCE student, we expect you to act like a member of staff in the school. So you arrive before the first lesson and you stay until the end of the school day. So there'll be staff meetings to take part in, team meetings with parents, etc. So yeah, absolutely. Well, if you're a PGCE student, then you act and behave and work as though you're a full-time teacher in that school.
Okay, thanks.
No problem at all. That's a really good question, Philomena. Thank you. Tukai, I'm loving your shirt. That shirt's fantastic. We're both sporting the Leeds Beckett brand today.
Yeah.
Samira.
Sorry, I mean, I'm just going because there's nobody else in queue. But
fine.
I have a few more questions. One is just taking from the earlier question, how much of the courses are available in the hybrid model, and recordings are usually all courses at the school recorded to be accessed, or is that mentioned somewhere that these are the only courses which will be available for students who are hybrid?
It's not that simple, really. That's a good question, and it's a difficult answer. So what we do as a university is we make our master's level modules available to PhD students, as you know. So in my department, for instance, my department is digital transformative. Everything is online. So there are no taught sessions, there are no lectures, there are no seminars. Everything is available online. And then we have like a weekly, community session where we talk about anything that we've read about that was interesting that week. We talk about recipes that we're going to cook for our families that week. We talk about holidays that we're planning, and we just keep a community going. But all the study materials are available online. In other courses, in other parts of the School of Education, they don't have that full online presence, and actually there are classes, so we'll have classrooms on Headingley campus where a module is delivered, I don't know, 6 o'clock till 9 o'clock in the evening every Tuesday. Okay, so they will have materials online available for you, but they won't be of the same type, if that makes sense. So I mean, I think probably an interesting thing for you to do with your supervisors is ask them to draw up a list of what courses are there, what modules make up those courses, and then whether or not they are online, hybrid, or taught purely face to face. So for instance, we are an old school, so we do have a lot of courses that are just taught in a very, very traditional manner. But you would need to be, if you wanted to do that module, you'd literally need to be in Leeds on that evening or on that morning to be in class. Whereas others are purposefully designed to be undertaken anywhere in the world at any time at your convenience. So it's a tough one to answer, but that's an honest answer for you, Tamira.
Okay, thank you. That's helpful. And the other question is about the access to the online library. I know that when you're a student at any UK university, you can access research papers and academic papers of all universities in the UK, right? That's a law in the UK. Am I right when I say that? This is from my supervisor. She said that you have access to all libraries. So is that applicable for the online library as well, or only the physical library?
I don't think it's a law, but yes. So as a Leeds Beckett student, you have access to all the licensing agreements that Leeds Beckett University pays for. So we, as an institution, we pay literally hundreds of thousands of pounds every year to have access to different journals, to different online repositories, our own internal online library as well, which is really good. But we also pay for access to other places. And then again, as a student, whether you are on Headingley campus in the library accessing a computer, or if you're at home in Mumbai and you're online, it's all there. It's there for you as a hybrid student. Okay, but it's not because it's a legal thing. It's not a law. It's just something that universities do to be supportive, I think.
So I would have access to other universities' online libraries as well.
Not their online libraries, but you'd have access to all the online materials that we pay licenses for, if that makes sense. So
yeah,
I suppose what you've got to think is that there are 100 UK universities that have their own libraries and their own online stuff, and then there's all that stuff that's out there for different organisations, different publishers, different journals, etc., and we pay for that access. Okay, and those other universities, those other 100 universities, also pay for that access. So it's not that you're accessing their stuff, it's that everyone is accessing this stuff that's out there. Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, it's my pleasure. There's a question in the chat.
Hello.
Hello.
Yes, I am Avnika from India. Actually, I have some queries regarding the course. I want to apply in MA in Early Childhood and Education. So after the completion of this course, would I be able to do job and working in the schools of United Kingdom?
I'm really sorry, it's quite a bad line. Would you be able to type your question into the chat for me, please?
Yeah, sure.
Thank you. It's just I think it's my computer that's struggling. Just while that question's typed in, Boutros has said, hello, I tried to find the class schedule online for the MA Education starting in September, but nothing was showing. Can you give me an idea of how classes will be scheduled throughout the year? I can give you some idea. I don't think the timetable has been approved yet. So when it gets to this time of year, we start to plan the timetable for the following year. Our classes run over 2 semesters. The first semester runs from the end of September, really through to the end of January. The second semester starts at the beginning of February and runs through to May. So Boutros, what I can tell you is that the modules are split into those two sections. Okay, so they're split pretty much evenly between semester 1, end of September to February, and semester 2, February to May. What we also have is a dissertation that you will do on that course, on the MA Education. So if you are, if you're a full-time student, you'll do those modules, but also round about Christmas time, so around about December, you'll be allocated a dissertation supervisor, and they will work with you for the next 9 months to prepare your dissertation for the course. And your dissertation is submitted usually at the end of August, beginning of September of the next academic year. So it's a full sort of 12-month program really when you factor in the dissertation. I hope that helps. Okay, Avneet's question. I'm from India. I want to apply for MA Early Childhood Education. Queries regarding the course. Would I be able to work and teach in the schools of the UK? Okay, that's a brilliant question. To work in, it depends what you want to do in terms of work. You will not be able to be a teacher in a mainstream UK school without having what's called qualified teacher status, which we call QTS. And Philomena's question that we heard earlier, Philomena's coming from a QTS course, so her course is specifically designed to attract QTS status or qualified teacher status. So you could work as, you could get the MA in early childhood education, and you could work as a teaching assistant. You could work in an early years setting, so with children aged birth to 5, but you couldn't work as a teacher in a mainstream school without QTS. So you would need to do a PGCE as well to be able to do that. I hope that helps, Avneet.
Sir, so, sorry to interrupt you, but firstly, after the completion of MA in early childhood, I have to clear the QTS, and after that, I can eligible to appear in PGCE exam.
Yeah, there are different ways to get QTS. So you can you could volunteer in a school, and you can't do this with a university. You'd need to use a training company, but you can apply for something called assessment only QTS, but you need to have access to a classroom and children for a long period of time, and then you collect evidence, maybe working as a teaching assistant, and then the people from the private training organisation would come out and observe you teaching. They would assess your portfolio of evidence, and then they would hopefully award you QTS. So from my perspective, I think the PGCE is more straightforward because it's an actual taught qualification with QTS built into it. So if you pass the PGCE and pass your teaching placements, you automatically get QTS. You don't have to apply again. But yeah, so as I said, there are different ways to get QTS, but to be a teacher in an English school, you do need to have it.
Okay, so may I know the eligibility for PGCE exam for appearing in PGCE?
If you want to check out the website, the course, that it depends on the age group that you want to teach. The eligibility is different depending whether it's primary school or secondary school that you want to train for. So my advice would be have a look at our website and work out whether, or ask the question whether your qualifications meet the qualifications that we need for primary or for secondary. So it depends on things like having a subject specialist subject. We expect different GCSEs as well, depending on whether you're teaching primary or secondary. If you're teaching secondary, we want you to have a degree in the subject that you want to teach, whereas we don't for primary. We want you to have a more general subject. So it's complicated. Well, it's not. It's too complicated for a call, but it's actually quite straightforward if you look at the website.
Yeah, thank you.
No, my pleasure. It's a really, really good question. Thank you.
Yes, thank you.
Are there any other questions?
Steve, can I?
Yeah.
Do I have to complete my university assignments as well, prepare for my daily lessons simultaneously?
Yes, you do. So what we've done is we've redesigned the course last year so that there are less university assignments, but you still need to do them to demonstrate that you understand the child development theory and that kind of thing. But we support you through that in class.
Okay.
Okay.
May I go, Steve?
Yeah, of course you can.
Yeah. So in the course of the 4 years or 5 years of the PhD research that I'm going to embark on, I would be coming to Leeds once a year, or maybe once, a semester. Now to go up and down, do I then have to apply for this CAS and the student visa, or will I be coming on a tourist visa?
I would refer that question to Kat. That's well outside my expertise.
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Yes,
Oh.
Kat.
Everything's really snagging up on my system. I don't know why. Yeah, I'm not 100% sure on that, Tamira, but if you head back to the main room when we finish, which I think we're due to finish now anyway, the Aaron and Andre, who did the kind of CAS talk at the beginning, they'll be able to tell you. They're the experts in that field. I would imagine you wouldn't need it if you're just coming back a couple of times, if you're just coming over for a couple of times a year, but better to ask them to be 100% sure.
So should I go along and ask them?
Yeah, I think it was just till 1 this, wasn't it, Steve?
Yeah, it is. Yeah.
Yeah. So if you've got any questions to do with CAS or visas and things like that, then you can head back to the main room, or you can all just head back to the main room for a wrap up, maybe.
How do we do that? If I press the leave button, I'm afraid that
yeah. So if I get you the main link, just bear with me a second. See if this works. That should do it.
Yeah, perfect.
Okay.
Thank you, Steve and Kat. Very, very
All
helpful.
right, no problem. Thank
Lovely
you.
to meet you. Lovely to meet you.
So we'll all head back now then, shall we?
Yeah, let's do that.
Thanks to Kai for taking part as well.
Yeah, thanks to Kai.
Thank you. I think there's a question in the
Oh, there was
chat.
one last question actually. Yeah.
About the teaching experience in our course.
I can answer those if people are still online. The MA Education, so the MA Education isn't a teacher training program. It's a master's course about education. So the school does have links with schools. However, you wouldn't. What we'd be able to do is give you contact details to approach schools if you're interested in teaching. Or interested in doing some teaching practice, but it's not actually part of the course. So that's for Boutros. Avneed, may I know the major difference between QTS and PGCE? Yes, absolutely. PGCE is the name of the course, so that's a university level course. It stands for Postgraduate Certificate in Education. So that is the course that we take you through. QTS, on the other hand, and I'm going to move to this side, QTS is a government status. So it's got nothing to do with the PGCE. It's got nothing to do with universities. It's the level of teaching ability and evidence that a person can demonstrate in order to show that they can teach. So what we do is we write a PGCE, which is a university course. We also write undergraduate degrees, which are also university courses, and we include the QTS standards and experiences within those courses. Does that make sense? So the course is one thing and the status is another. And our course, the PGCE, allows you to reach that status as well as getting the PGCE at the same time. Does that make sense, Avneet?
Yes, I got it. So for working with schools in UK, I have to like clear the QTS as a purpose of license for teaching field,
Yes.
right?
Yeah, perfect. Yeah,
Okay.
exactly.
Okay.
All right, shall we all
okay.
go? Go on.
Yeah.
Thank you. Shall we all go to the other meeting? If you want to follow the link that Kat's just left in the chat, we'll go back to the other meeting for Joe's closing thoughts.
All right. Thanks, Steve. Thanks, everyone.
Yeah,
See you
thanks,
there.
Steve. Thanks, everyone.
Bye.